Rosenhaus, who helped me out do that little promo. Dave,
Wow.
This is official now.
I'm honored. I am honored.
This is official now, and this is a new segment we're debuting today, and that is Raven with Negative Dave. And that is, we're just going to go, across the board here because it's so easy with these sports teams to get negative, and we will do that today. Where do we want to start today, Dave? Timberwolves. We got the general soreness. We got a lot of things. Where are we starting here today?
How about the new one last night? He got a plane for his buddy Tyus.
He got a
day's
plane.
Salary, probably.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
I did not hear about that. Explain.
Come on. Hey, well, geez. I got to carry you on this one. Yeah, he rented a charter for his boyfriend, Tyus Jones, so he could go see his brother play basketball at Madison Square Garden last night?
It was at Bankers Fieldhouse in Indiana.
Oh, it was at Indiana. Well, that must have saved him a few bucks.
Yeah.
No, because it came from L.A., chartered, and apparently he didn't go. He says he didn't have time to go, or he was too sore to go with them. And Tyus went by himself to see his brother, and Tyus says, you didn't see the quote by Tyus?
I didn't. Who tweeted
friend,
it?
You need to get well, Tyus says that's Jimmy being selfless.
Well, tell him to play a game. Maybe he can be even more selfless. I'm getting so sick of it, man. It really is annoying. What are you going to do? Are you going to trade this guy? How much longer are you going to get played with?
I might have said the wrong thing there, selflessness. What does it mean when he's a nice guy and he does things for people? What's the word I'm looking for there?
Soft.
Yeah, he is soft. We know that. No, but Tyus said something really stupid, like, "Yeah, Jimmy's a great guy." To, it just shows you how nice of a guy he is, or something. Just totally idiotic. What do I think? I think they need. You know what I think? If I own the team and this was happening to me, although it wouldn't be because I'm not an idiot, I would just sit him. I wouldn't even. I would pay. You got to pay him and let him sit out. Don't even play him. Let him sit on his spot the rest of the year and get really soft. And screw up his career and then trade him.
Really? So you'd let him sit and rot?
Leave anyway.
You'd let him sit and rot?
Yes. Why not? Because he's leaving anyway.
Well, don't you want to get stuff for him?
I don't think they are. I don't think anyone's. Who's going to offer better than what Houston offers?
Yeah. Would you have taken that Houston deal?
Well, probably the reason why I think they didn't is because they don't want to look 4 years down the road, because then they're admitting to failure again.
Yeah.
And Tibbs might not even be around. Don't you think that's why they didn't do it?
Oh, Tibbs is gone, I think, after this year. If they miss the playoffs this year, which I think they're going to do, I think the West is really good. I don't think there's a chance he stays, after this year.
Well, I agree with you. But I just think if he's going to be taking every other game off or deciding when he doesn't want to play, if they're on the road, they automatically lose.
Oh, my gosh. How bad are they on the road?
Well, terrible.
Come on.
And with Butler, it's not going to – he's got to be just ticking off his teammates so much in the locker room that it's just so stupid. I'll play tonight. I won't play tonight. I just don't think if they would have traded, if they wanted to trade him, they would have done it by now. Don't you think? No one's offering anything, I would guess. Well,
they keep saying the same thing. Oh, we haven't had anything that we really felt comfortable doing where we feel that we got equal value. You're not going to get equal value for him. You're just not. You're not going to get an equal value for Jimmy Butler. I know we kind of rip him, but he is an important player. He's a very good player. But, he's a number two. He's a number two on a championship team. He can't be a number one and win a championship.
Correct. I agree with you, and I'm not even that big a basketball guy. But what do you think he's a top 15 player in the league, top 10?
No, I think he's top 20, though, for sure.
Okay.
Top 10 is, he's just missed. I would say top 15, top 20. Let's segue here to just an embarrassing. You talk about not wanting to come out of the house today, and that is Mr. Phil Fleck, who gets absolutely pummeled in Illinois to Lovie Smith with that stupid beard he has. 55 points given up. And then, to make matters worse, you need a scapegoat, so you fire your defensive coordinator. Your thoughts, Dave?
Can't stand the guy. And you know what? I can say with confidence, I saw it. Right away I was ripping this guy, his first press conference. What a BSer. I eat nails for breakfast. I have difficult conversations before my wife's up. And then right away there's problems,
yep.
Right? And the total embarrassment of the game against Illinois now and Nebraska with the yardage. Yeah,
and Maryland.
It was time for the scapegoat. Oh, yeah, Maryland, yeah. But even Illinois and Nebraska are were 1-0 and 1-win teams, right? That's even worse.
Right.
And, yeah, I mean, of course he found the scapegoat. He knew he had to. Because he's probably starting to feel some heat.
No, he is. His seat's getting warm. And let me just give you some stats here. So,
please.
You lose to Illinois 55-31. Let's go through Illinois' schedule this year. They lost to Penn State by 40. They lost to Maryland by 30. And they only beat Kent State, okay? Kent, K-E-N-T, Kent State by 7. I just watched Kent State yesterday. They lost to Buffalo 56-14. So if that doesn't
struggle against those teams,
right?
Didn't we play Kent State last year?
We did.
Or was it Buffalo?
We played both of them. We have a big non-conference schedule, obviously.
Yeah, it's toasty, and always at home too.
Yeah, and then you lose to winless Nebraska 53-28. I mean, these aren't just upsets. No, you're giving up 55 points to Illinois. You're giving up 53 points to Nebraska. Flex overall record is 9-12. My question to you is did this program take Jerry Kill for granted, who went back-to-back 8-5 seasons and beat Michigan, beat Northwestern, beat Purdue, lost to Ohio State by 7? I mean, you're dreaming if you think Fleck's even going to win 8 games in his tenure.
I know. Isn't it making Kill look like, Nick
Saban?
A god? Yeah, Nick Saban Jr., I wasn't a Kill guy either, unfortunately. I got tired of his, I'm going to go to my cabin if I get fired, and I'll sit there and collect my money. That comment he made that one time. I'll just go sit at my cabin. Yeah, I know. It's starting to look, the country clowns are starting to look good now, aren't they?
They are.
What was the defensive coordinator's name?
Tracy Claeys.
Yes, and now they're rated 8th or 7th now on his defense?
Washington State.
Yeah, and that conference, they can put up some points, even though it's not a very good conference. But, hey, I'll tell you what, if Fleck had come out and said to the media, hey, at least I lost to a guy who's won a Super Bowl or been to a Super Bowl, then I really would have been mad. But he didn't say that. But
you hit it on the head. Let me just add this real quick. You hit it on the head. You said when he first came to Minnesota, Minnesota's a sleeping giant. We're elite. Yeah. We're rowing the boat. You put so much pressure on yourself. Like Minnesotans, if you just come in and have you're a class act, you're going to get a little more patience. With Fleck, he's talking like we should have 2 national championships already.
I know. He lost me in that first. They showed it live. I remember I was at work, and we actually had it on a TV, and he lost me about 10 minutes into that press conference. First of all, Minnesota's not a sleeping giant. People don't want to come here because it's 20 below for 4 or 5 months a year, okay? We're sleeping all right in bed because it's too cold to get out of it. So it's not a sleeping giant. That's been proven. I don't know if it's the campus, but now we've got all this losing. This new stadium doesn't mean anything. It's just, they're in trouble over there.
They are.
This guy is not the answer. There's no way he's getting out of this one. They're not going to get better.
So the clown show continues here. We're going to rate them here on Raving with Negative Dave, the new segment we're debuting. So we've got number 1, Jimmy Butler, who just continues his drama, continues his general soreness. And then number 2 on our list, we have PJ Fleck, who's been quiet, but he's finally going to be exposed here with Raving with Dave. Number 3, I mean, there's not really much to say about the Wild. They've really been surprising. I don't know if you've been in, I know this is just the same old Wild.
I pay attention. I know. Let's get some road games under their belt. They're on a little road trip now. We start playing a little better teams. We'll see. I'm not shooting these home wins. I'm not falling for them.
No, and I'm not either. And my dad was talking to me today. Come on, why aren't you excited about the Wild? Because it's the same damn story every year. I mean, they're a really good regular season team with Barbecue Bruce. I mean, he's a great regular season coach. And then what happens in the postseason, Dave? Tell me.
First round loss
every single year.
Or a quick 4 games in the second round or 5 games. Yeah, I need to see more. The NHL, the long season, the point structure screwed up with the points.
Terrible.
With the tie, makes it even more difficult to figure out who's good and who isn't. Let's get to some more games on the road and make up some of those easy home games they had before we get excited there.
So we'll stay away from the Wild here. Vikings. I mean, a huge win on Sunday. I thought the offense played so average to me. Defense really
terrible.
Dominated. Daniil Hunter is a stud. But Kirk Cousins and John DeFilippo, you know what bothers me? They just play so damn conservative. And at home, they just get comfortable. They go at the first possession of the game, you go and you score. They do it a lot, by the way. The first possession, they've been money. And then once they get a lead, they're like, okay, well, let's just wait till they score. Come on, wake up. I thought the calls were so conservative on Sunday.
Do you think that has anything to do with their crappy offensive line?
Yeah, I don't know. I do and I don't. I thought the offensive line, since, the beginning of the weeks, has gotten better. The defense is the thing, though. I mean, Zimmer's done you got to give credit to Zimmer.
Wait a minute.
What?
You're getting a little too positive on me here. It's Detroit.
I know it's Detroit.
How many times have they come to Minnesota in the last 35 years and even won a game? Maybe once? Twice?
Zimmer's record was what? I mean, Lions won the last 2 games in Minnesota at U.S. Bank. That was their first win over them.
The last 2 years they've won? I know they won last year.
Yeah, last 2 years they won.
Well, it's Detroit. They've been crappy on the road for 30 years. I don't count that as a big win. I really don't. I'm sorry. I just can't. I need to see something. First of all, I want them to step up against good teams. The Rams handle them pretty easy. I know the game was close.
The game was close, Dave.
In New Orleans, I don't know. I just think those teams are too far above them. Now we're going to have to go on the road if we make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm not excited. The season got blown with those 2 losses. And, yeah, man, they're losing at New England. Are you putting that one down? That's automatic, right?
I wouldn't say automatic, but I would say most likely a loss.
Okay, probably Seattle on the road. That's a game they have to win.
I think you beat Seattle. I think they beat Seattle. I think they beat Chicago on Sunday night. I don't believe in Mitchell Trubisky. And I think they beat the Packers at home. I mean, what can I tell you? They got to go 3-2.
They're going to have to.
They got to go 3-2. I mean, that's the bottom line. All right.
I'm just saying, I'm seeing it against mediocre teams, the defense step up. I need to see it. Whatever.
That's very fair.
On it. I'm not a Zimmer guy. You know that.
I know.
I'm telling you the truth.
I'm trying to get you to get a little positive.
No, it's not going to happen. I got to see it first. You're talking about 30. Look, man, I was at the 1976 game against the Rams at Met Stadium. It was my first football game ever as a kid. They won, went to the Super Bowl, and got absolutely annihilated by the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, it's been nothing but disappointment for me.
I agree.
And that's a lot of years.
I mean, what I've seen,
off in that game too. It was like 20 below.
We've all had the suffering. Okay, even me, a 20-year-old kid. 2009 was horrible. 1998 was horrible. I mean, what else? The Blair Walsh miss was horrible. I mean, there's been a lot of bad
41
moments.
donuts.
Oh, against the Giants.
In the games they've lost. I mean, last year, let's be honest. They didn't deserve to win. They should have lost that Saints game.
100%.
It took a miracle to win it.
100%. They should have never been there. And I thought when they won that Saints game, it was like destiny. Okay, you have to win because it's so hard to get back. Let's move on here. How about Gopher Hoops? How do you feel about Gopher Hoops? They just beat Nebraska of Omaha. Not a big deal, obviously. Is Rick Pitino on the hot seat if they don't make the tournament?
Yeah, absolutely has to be. Enough with him with stuff. I mean, I go. He's got the big Flyers payout though, doesn't he? He
does.
Yeah, I would say if he doesn't make it this year, I think he might get the hook.
I think he might too.
Because his stuff's getting a little old too. They're supposed to be picked to finish third, fourth, or fifth.
Listen, let me tell you this, Dave. As a former college basketball player, I watched them. I know some of the recruits they got this year. They are going to be a lot better if they can stay healthy. This is an 8 or 9 seed in the NCAA tournament. I'm not joking.
Well, what's your opinion on Pitino as a ex-basketball player? You like the guy or not?
It's hard for me to get a feel for him because every year it's either they win 7 games or they have an incredible season. I mean, last year they stunk. Reggie Lynch was obviously got into trouble. That was huge. Coffey was injured. Nate Mason was injured. The year before that, they had a 5 seed. They lost. They just got a tough matchup against Middle Tennessee State. Then the year before that, they're losing to Rutgers, and they're winning 7 games. So it's just hard. I mean, this should be the year that, the way the trend is going with Richard Pitino, this should be a tournament year. But they've got a lot of guys that can play. They got 3 talented freshmen. I think all 3 of them that played yesterday are actually from Minnesota, so that's good that